Now for the first division of Trivia League 2020 Season 6. The group stage. This is s1z goes to the pub versus Anvil A. Actually, let's add it here. I want to show one specific note about this team. This goes to the pub. See, they have 5 players plus two, three 2K plus players. And they are allowed to join on the condition that only one of these 2K plus players play in any given match. And it's effectively a merge of two teams. It's s1z and pub, then working together as one team. So they both played in league before in different seasons as different teams. But they're all from the Great Britain AOE2 Discord, and they asked to join together as having more players to pick from also makes scheduling easier and more fluent. So I think that's an important detail, even though it's an exception I made for them because I know all of them from previous seasons, and they will obviously honor this agreement of playing only one of the 2K plus player per set. Let's have a look at the draft situation here. So first, Homba picks Maghreb for Beaver, Mr. Beaver for Anvil, which is a nomad start known from Battle of Africa 3, is it? No. Yeah, Battle of Africa 3, I think. And Big Walt, being the captain of s1z, goes to the pub, at least for the draft he is. Going for a Great Britain favorite, Amazon Tunnel, which could be dragged out into infinity. These games tends to go to long choke pointy fights, trade starting early on the sides by dropping down trees with onagers in the early village. Then they're banding down to decide the first game map, which is going to be the mutually agreed neutral map, banding down to end up with migration again. So once again, we're going to get migration as the first map here. So let's have a look at the civilizations. I don't play Amazon Tunnel myself, so I don't really have any ideas about what to expect for that map. But for migration, Saracens comes to mind, even if it's the last pick. Gudvaras would be a decent pocket. But Gudvaras would be amazing for Amazon Tunnel in the choke pointy fights in the middle as well, with the jackal throwers and whatnot. But an argument could be made for using them on the open map that is Maghreb as well. Huns, definitely not an Amazon Tunnel pick. They have horrible siege options. Same goes for not the same. Guess you could make an argument for Turks on that map, but Amazon Tunnel. But let's try to think about migration at first. Vikings, probably a given. I think Turks as well for middle control of the middle island would be too bad. And Burgundians could be a decent pocket for a migration game. And you have the Vikings taking responsibility for the naval control, whereas the GB team s1z goes to the pub. Bohemians, probably for Amazon Tunnel, their home map. Italian Dravidians should be a given for migration. Even Japanese comes to mind. Berbers, Maghreb, perhaps. Koreans would also be a good Maghreb civilization. But then, what are they going to be playing for Amazon Tunnel? Teutons, Bengalis, maybe even Britons? Nah, I'm at the loss here. Let's just hop into the first one and see what they bring us. So we have Big Walt as the Italians on the flank here. This is a different generation than the previous cast for the fifth division, as we have at least both flanks relatively close. Big Walt and Heuristic Magic really close to each other here. Should be an interesting one, as Vikings would usually benefit more from the castle age strength of the longboats. But that's probably, given the distance, that's going to be different for the Vikings here. Big Wolf might actually be able to play Feudal Age here to deny Vikings a good Castle Age power spike here. In the pocket, we have Capifract in the backside here, strongest player. That's one of their 2k plus ELO players here. Playing as the Japanese from the pocket position. Obviously, good economic potential with the Japanese here, with the fishing ships having more hit points and a faster working rate. Lots of good naval options as well, but also got the land options with fully upgraded cavalry archers for mobility, or faster attacking halberdiers against the cavalry civilizations of the opposing team. So maybe a pretty decent pocket pick here from size. The mole with the Britons here suggests that the focus is going to be more on land for the purple player. But Britons, obviously, they do get Bracer. They are arguably the best archers civilization in the game, and should have an easy time controlling the middle if Size goes to the pub are able to control that area. But we'll probably have to fight for the water control on flank first to truly benefit from that. As for Anvil, we have Fabre forever in the Persians with the teal here. Persians flank, not necessarily what I expected for migration, but again, great boom, faster working docks and town centers, higher hit points as well. Takes longer to take them out, so it's going to take longer to beat Persians. And starting with 50 extra food and wood makes it easier to produce your first few fishing ships as well. As you can see, the only player and the first player to have a fishing ship out and second one on the way is the Persians player here. Makes for a smoother start of migration with those extra resources overall, as the starting island on migration doesn't have any boars, only deer and sheep and berries. So you have to make fish in order to be able to go to the Feudal Age. Mr. Beaver from the Burgundians pocket here, seen relatively frequently in the Nations Cup on this map. Was played a lot in Nations Cup. The migration was a fan and team's favorite. Earlier economic upgrades for the Burgundians. No sign of that for the Burgundians just yet, but the lumber cap, second lumber cap is going up here. Interesting that he hasn't gone for that just yet here, Mr. Beaver, but always an option to get an early double V tax. It's cheaper and 1 age earlier for the Burgundians. Probably going to focus more on the land situation, but Burgundians have more than decent gunpowder units. Also, I would assume the cannon galleons on water, so might come into play at a later stage. And finally, as mentioned, heuristic magic with Vikings here. 2 docks now. Not yet on the way to the Feudal Age. That's an early Feudal Age for the Persians here. So we'll see galleys aggression for the Persians with the faster working docks. How is that going to play out against the Britons here? It's definitely going to be Feudal Age aggression here. So they're reading the... I was going to say they're reading the map well, but they actually don't know that they're as close here. So it looks to me like both flanks of Size goes to the pub. Are we going to commit to Feudal Age aggression here, buying time for their pocket player to get to the cancellation nice and smooth. That could be particularly bad news for Euristic Magic here, as Big Volt is now 30 seconds away from the Feudal Age. Got 2 dogs up, might even be able to afford a third one relatively soon. And blue didn't even click up yet. That means that most of the fish will go down potentially before Heuristic Magic can even get a single naval military unit out. Still no eco upgrades for the Burgundians here, but the village has been clicked. Maybe Mr. Bieber can find the food to afford double bit axe now on the way up. Third dock coming up for Heuristic Magic. 3 on gold. Definitely suggesting the fast cast late approach here. Food situation seems a bit off, especially if the fish gets contested by Big Walt, who still doesn't know how close they in fact are over here. South side, galleys on the way out for the mole as well. But fighting an uphill battle against the Persians here, potentially it's 3 docks to 2 for the time being. So maybe that will still give the mole potential to hold off the enemy arms here. It's 3 against 2 now. No fletching for either player. And one thing that didn't cross my mind is actually maybe you'll be able to tell from the way your own islands are set up. You'll actually be able to tell that the spawn is quite close. Ooh, sneaky from the Persians player here now. Going for Capifact's home economy here. But these are Japanese fishing ships, so they aren't nearly as easy to contest as you'd predict. It's an empty transport ship for Capifact. Maybe it's just trying to lead it the way to to to. Is this a debate transport ship to keep the fish safe for a little bit longer until reinforcements can arrive? If so, that's hilarious. That's not going to survive for much longer, obviously, but interesting little distraction there. And down it goes, okay. Big Walt making great work at the blue fish here, but Euristic Magic able to click up to the cast stage after all. Is going to lose all of the fish at the cost of a greedy fast cast lage attempt here though. So a great aggression from Big Bolt. No fletching yet, but doesn't really need that with 5 galleys to take out the fish like this. The mole down south with the Britons got the numbers advantage over Favre because of the little sneaky aggression against the Japanese pocket here. Is it going to pay off though, this little sneaky movement? Maybe it will, because it allows you to stop Capifact from easily transporting to the middle. Did make it over after all though. Caslage just a few seconds away, half a minute away for Capifact here, and now with the stable in the middle to claim some middle control with scouts and spearmen. Huge middle island this for a 3v3. But now, for the time being, under control of Size goes to the pub. 8 galleys to 8 galleys, dead even numbers between the Persians and Britons here. However, 2 of them are over here for Favre forever, so the mole is going to be looking at better trades over here. And it looks like Big Walt is moving in towards the Burgundian's pocket as well. He's happy with the damage done against the Feudal Age Vikings here, at least taking out all of the fish, which should cause some idle towns at the time for Heuristic Magic here. Is he out of food? He's grasping collecting the last of the berries here now, forced into some farming economy here now. Might actually need to buy food to get going here. He has the market app. So that's going to be costly to keep the Builder's production going here. Heuristic Magic going to run idle for a bit now that the batteries run go empty and there are only 2 farms working for the time being. Big Bolt looking for the Burgundian fish here, but Mr. Beaver, noticing what's up, or maybe being notified by his teammates, pulls the fish further away. They aren't currently working. So still the aggression of Big Bolt is paying off. He's making the most of the fuel age galleys here. Still has a while to go for the Castle Age click, even with the cheaper, 15% cheaper upgrade for the Italians here. But definitely distracting most of the longboats, forcing Heuristic Magic to protect his teammate's pocket over here. Look at the eco kill, 17 eco kills. That's a lot of fishing ships destroyed by Big Walt. Both pockets assume in the middle here now. 3 scouts, 3 knights for Capifact. Spotted where Mr. Beaver has set up over here. It's far away, so it makes it more awkward to contest, but given the eco advantage of Capifact here. Oh, that's a good spot. Seeing the TC going up, denying the barracks going up as well, which means that the Burgundians' cavalry is yet to be produced here from Mr. Beaver. Barracks now complete, but military lead for size goes to the pub on land here for sure. And placement of these towns, I'm not sure if I'm loving that either. One castle here for size goes to the pub, and you deny both of these town centers. I suspect this castle is to control these stones and golds, and later on a little bit of the shoreline over here as well, but you can't really place it on this hill, which would be the better one because of the army presence on land for Capifact. The mole looking at a castle age advantage here, going to get to Bodkin Arrow and War Galley well ahead of the Persians here, but the Persians, docks working faster, gonna allow them to get to War Galley to catch up as well. 4 docks producing against 3 of the mole, which means a larger investment for Favre forever here, but the Persians economy, town centers and docks also work faster, so that's not to mention the docks have more twice the hit points, so they're going to take longer to take out. War Galley on the way, Bodkin just in for the mole. As Capifact gets a juicy conversion in the middle here. Sapient Test says, I'm hoping at no point in this journey I will have to play Migration. Well, careful what you wish or what you say. As one home map is basically guaranteed for any team for the first pick. But I think most teams would prioritize their first pick differently, of course. And you have 7 team members, so you can probably dodge playing Migration after all. It's a snowbally map for sure. And it's a matter of timings and knowing when to contest the middle, not to overextend on water. Heuristic Magic with the longboats here now is making good use of the armies on water, splitting the map, taking out most of Capifact's fishing economy here. As Capifact goes to stone and wants to get castles up on the middle island, presumably. Let's have a look at the naval numbers at work here. The faster working Persian docks is really beginning to show here, as we can see the teal numbers comfortably outnumbering them all. Thanks for the follow, Steak. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's a cleanup for the Persians here. Not the flank I would expect for migration, but it seems to be working out for Anvil here, at least for the time being. Still, the naval investment on both flanks of Anvil here does delay their claiming the middle. So will it be worthwhile? They are establishing an economic lead here, having taken out lots of the naval economy of their opponents. And also, by controlling both flanks, they are making it a lot more awkward for s1z goes to the pub to move their remaining economy into the middle as the starting island economy starts to run out. There's still wood and gold and stone and whatnot here for s1z goes to the pub to claim. Imperial H is all the way for Capifract as well. Which not really seeing. Are we going to see a castle from the middle and some redocking here from Capifract to get some fast fire ships out, which I think Japanese get them. I'm not playing naval maps enough to have these tech trees memorized, unfortunately. But that would be a way to deal with the castle age aggression of the Vikings here. To have Capifract try to commit some to some strong Imperial Age naval army option as well. It's been mining stone at home base, so still got 7 stone miners working safely in the back here. I have to say Anvil are doing good work at incapacitating their opponents at home base. Mr. Beaver with a good pick off there on the moles. Castle attempt on land as well, and increasing that aggression with a forward castle on the hill here, right on the moles. Middle town center of the Britons here. The mole about to lose almost everything he has in the middle here, because this town center will go down to the castle fire, and the home island is completely surrounded by Persian naval armies. So if the mole loses this town center and gets the cavalry to catch up with the remaining villagers, then you might not see the Britons on land after all, which is a major setback for s1z goes to the pub to not have their third player on land. Splitting the middle situation in half here between Anvil and s1z. I wonder if that earlier Imperial Age of the Japanese is going to make the difference here, though, as once this castle completes, the Japanese trebuchets will be on the menu here. Alps and trebuchets faster attacking halberdiers for the Italians. It's a second castle for Mr. Beaver here, so he's increasing those coups d'Illier numbers. Nice walling initiative from the mole here as well, forcing the cavalry of Green to take the long way around, or to use that fire galley to break through the walls and make an opening here. Genoese crossbowmen from the Italians now. Good response to the cavalry investment from the Burgundians here, going for a unique unit rather than the Cavalier and Paladin here. But if you're able to get those castles up, certainly a worthwhile investment here. As Capifract is fighting an uphill battle, but he has all of the halberdiers here to defend them with Italians on the team. The team bonus is access to condottieros in the Imperial Age, which will do decent against the Berserkers as you can produce the condottieros more quickly, and the the Japanese infantry attacks faster as well. Should apply to condottieros as well. Vikings infantry definitely strong as well with their extra hit points, but If Berserker is going to be your unit of choice on land, you're going to need more castles to count them out. You see the blue and teal dots on the waters here really spread out in a way that makes it really hard for all of the three players of size goes to the pub to move their remaining economies to the mainland, which shows in Anvil's economic advantage here as well. The expansion is just a lot harder for size goes to the pub. It's by no means lost because the military situation is still quite similar. Two players in Imperial Age for size, one Vikings player on the way up as well, but the castle dealt with over here, so the Vikings economy quite exposed here. Looks like a slow pushback from size goes to the pub here, with Genoese crossbow numbers increasing as well. Now block printing for the Japanese monks to get conversions in at the distance, convert siege weapons maybe at the distance as well. Halberdier mass reaching the numbers needed to keep the cavalry units away as well. Consistent halberdier production here for Capifact. Elite Genoese crossbowman coming in for Big Walt. Still doesn't really have the numbers to pose a significant threat here, but you can see the queue going on there. They can produce relatively quickly. Quite catch if the Japanese unique technology is in, but if Katarabuto is in for the Japanese here, the trebuchets are going to pack instantly as well, making them much more valuable as a mobile siege weapon. It's not quite as mobile as mobile cannons, but they do the trick. Champion upgrade coming in for the Vikings here, but with the Genoese crossbowmen, that should be decent to deal with those. Favre going for the trash bow approach here with the Persians. No bracer for the Persians and no arbalest. So the crossbows are a trash unit at best for the teal player here. Might be still be decent to deal with the Genoese though. But then again, we have the Japanese or any of the civilizations of size able to add some condot arrows. And they have, even though they're an anti-gunpowder unit, they also have decent enough pierce armor to probably work well also against Persian crossbows lacking bracer. So size goes to the pub slowly. Pushing the middle here now. Guard towers going up for the Japanese. That's going to be upgraded to keeps eventually as well. That's the Yasama towers for the Japanese, firing additional arrows. Great way to claim the map as a substitute for castles. That castle takes longer to build. They're obviously more sturdy, but you could build a lot more castles, no towers, for the cost of one castle. And keeps with Yasama definitely going to hold the middle position well here, providing a point of refuge for the armies to allow the slow push to keep moving forward. There's Yasama coming in for the Japanese, which is actually Castle Age unique tech, usually researched in the Imperial Age, and keeps to provide better stats for the towers in terms of damage output as well. Another castle coming up from Mr. Beaver did lose one in the middle here, so needs to get another one up to try to keep that gold steely air production going. But the trebuchets of the Japanese will have a say in that. I'm not sure if the hill advantage applies here, but that castle is not going to stay up for long if it even completes at all. might see Capifact losing a castle over here as well, but now Genoese crossbowmen numbers increasing. I don't think size goes to the pub mind the naval numbers all that much anymore. They basically depleted the most important resources on their starting islands, and the farming economy is still arguably somewhat safe because the ships can't range that. Elite, are they elite? I was going to say longbowmen. Not elite, no, they're still in the cast age, but longbows, riddance, extra range in the cast age as well. Not too shabby. 5+3 range, 6+2 attack. Dealing with the castle on the hill here for Mr. Beaver. Top side, Anvil has been able to push the middle here as well. Vikings champions now pumping out big time. Now the condotieros won't really be enough for the for Capifact to hold the Vikings away here. We might need an arbalest switch here, and it kind of makes sense to have Pigbold go for that with the Italians, but his economy isn't ideal for an arbalest switch here. Capifact could maybe pull it off, but this isn't quite there yet. And he's providing the halberdiers, so we can't really make both the halberdiers and the arbalists here to hold the Vikings armies off. And with the comfortable military now and an even more comfortable economic lead, considering their home islands are still untouched. And running a fluent farming economy at home base there doesn't really need to use the middle island for farming space here. Elite skirmishers now added for the Vikings as well. Good addition against the Genoese crossbowmen, although the champions in front are going to be a really costly meat shield in front. Look at the gold situation here, and it's still mining gold, but the situation overall looks a little bit rough for Anvil at the time. They're queuing a limited amount of gold units here. Persians, Cavaliers pumping out big time though, providing mobility for raids and slowing the expansion of size goes to the pub at the sides here. We had some Cavaliers raids here not long ago. Still controlling the water, they could also add cannon galleons from, for example, the Vikings or probably the Persians as well. Over guns are out for both sides. 53 elite Genoese crossbowmen and counting. Fast fire ship coming in for the Italians now. Finally, size goes to the pub want to get a little bit back in water. Maybe they're thinking about naval siege weapons now to sneak attack from the sides. There are lots of exposed castles and town centers to benefit from that comeback if size goes to the pub are able to pull that off. They're still behind the military numbers and even more behind in the economy. In fact, they're 200 total population behind here. But they haven't lost nearly as much terrain on the mainland as you'd think they might. And with a comeback on the water at this time, things could still turn around. Yasawa Tower is also helping to get these docks up here, and lacking a castle on this side, the Yasawa Towers will do a sufficient job at that. Yasawa providing extra arrows fire for the keeps, I believe. Blocks not quite completing for Big Wall, so no fast fire ship comeback just yet. Elite Longbowman coming in for the mole now for the 20 longbows and counting on the field. It's going to be a nightmare to deal with for Anvil, because if Yeoman gets researched as well, the Elite Longbowman will actually have the same range as the Burgundy's bomber cannons. So Paladin's really the best shot of Anvil to clean up the Britain's units here. Siege Rams is Britain's kryptonite though, and that's a good addition from the teal player, of course. Fast fire ships indeed being queued by Big Walt here. Will it be enough to get Size Goes to the Pub back on track here? They are significantly behind in economy, but keeping somewhat up with military still. Elite skirmishers from Anvil from 2 players here though. Going to make quick work of the Genovese crossbowmen if and Big Walt doesn't pay attention here. Doesn't lose that many. However, is going to lose another castle on land here as well. And siege rams pushing from this side are going to soak elite longbowmen fire. Are Anvil having gold struggles though? No, Bishop Beaver has lots of gold in the bank. 5 relics for Capifracti really made use of that early middle control here as well. It's just much more fluent military production for Anvil here, but they're struggling to deal with the double range support. I think they need like onagers or ideally siege onagers here, but even siege onagers against Britons is not going to be ideal. Bomber tower now in the middle. 8+3 range, so also good way to stall the slow ranged initiative from Size Goes to the Pub here. Somehow Teal has managed to get the 1000 wrap on this side, but now the fast fire ships are out and they are going to make quick work of the naval armies of Anvil that are fully focused on land now, which means that you could also contest some of the really working land economy of Anvil over here. Japanese champions, they attack faster, they have less hit points than the Vikings champions, but Capifract still cleaning up here because of that faster attack rate and the fact that he has more champions in this area than the Vikings player currently. Still spamming those champions out, but they both are, and they're almost tied in numbers, which means that Capifract is going to be looking at the better trades with the faster attack rate. Otherwise, the stats are similar, but yeah. Japanese simply attack faster. So sneaky pick off there of the solar fast fire ships by the Persians paladins. Also some trade running on water here for Anvil. Another good reason to have the fast fire ships here for Big Wolf. Maybe that's the reason they added them. Maybe they suspected that something like this might happen, and now the trade's gonna go down for heuristic magic. I'm trying to find the trade stats here somewhere. Here we go. Okay, it just started really. It's only 6 trading ships. That's negligible loss right now. Size goes to above now in a military lead over Anvil here. Some of those are naval armies, of course, but that's kind of been deceiving in the middle fighting as well, because it's been looking like Anvil has had a massive military lead all along, but then quite a bit of that has been on the water, so maybe they've actually been fighting in somewhat equal mass on land. Paladins never going to trade well against twice the numbers of Genoese crossbowmen. So Italians really showing their power here, camping this hill, being joined by Japanese trebuchets now, and another slow and steady push for size to try and reclaim the middle island, which is going to be even that more important at this stage in the game. This is where all the resources are. Longboats back in production for heuristic magic. I don't think it's going to be enough though. There's so many fast fires out now, more fast fires than there are longboats. But can Anvil afford to lose water here now? They've been benefiting from free homeland and fish economy for so long now, but now they're losing the middle, and this is where basically all their attention has to be if they're going to stop this push from happening. Persian's cavalry not really an option anymore with this mass of elite Genoese crossbowmen protecting the siege push on land. What we are lacking from Size Goes to Pub now is a unit to deal with the skirmishers, but I think if you just add some condotieros again from any of the players, that should be enough. Or the champions, as we see here from Capifact. Not as efficient as having hussars hunt them down, but enough to keep them away. Fast fire ships of the Italians are going to deal with all of the docks of Anvil now. Disallowing any trade on water, which means that the gold might run out for Anvil now. Let's have a look at their gold situation. It's definitely on the low side. 0, 2, and 0 gold miners. Not being able to field gold units against a gold heavy army like the one side goes to the web have on land now. That might just be the death of Anvil right here. Last hurrah with siege rams in front of the elite skirmishers here, but the elite longbowmen, so many of them, even enough to take out siege rams at this point, at least small numbers of them. So unique unit hasn't been an option for Mr. Weaver for a while. It's gone into elite skirmishes with the Burgundians. Lacking the last armor might be a little bit of a setback here, but lacking gold, you have to make do of what you have, so you have to play your trash units to try and hold. Still a few Persian paladins on the field as well, but Britons should be well able to hold this push away. Since the elite longbows now match the range of the bomber cannons as well. Look at that, taking off the bomber cannons at the distance. Ridiculous units when you get them to fully upgraded, these elite longbowmen. Trebuchet being pulled back, not having any support unit here now, so once again it's a fight for the middle here for Anvil, but they've lost their naval position completely, and Size Goes to the Pub turns it around with the second pushback here, taking the first game in a very even migration game here. Some back and forth stack migration always gives us, almost always gives us. Surprisingly little cavalry from Size Goes to the Pub, but seemed to work well against the double cavalry approach of Anvil here. more resources will overall for Anvil here, but that's partly due to the home islands being safe for so long with the fish economy and farming economy on land. So wood and food, more unobstructed. Not insignificant relic gold there for Caprify. 6,500 gold from those 5 relics. Not in any need of trade just yet. You could see in the gold income that Caprify is well ahead of everyone because of that. Also being first to the PLH there, those first early trebuchets really delaying Anvil's push on land, so bought them a lot of time to recover there as they lost the naval situation, focusing on the middle instead. Let's go back to the draft and cross out some of the civilizations being used here. Italians, Japanese, and Britons for migration. We are going to go to Maghreb next. A nomad start map, which is the home map of Anvil. Oh, Hans and Turks come to mind, maybe even Hindustanis for the camels. Whereas for East Coast of Hub, I think Berbers are given for the faster moving villagers, Koreans for the line of sight for the villagers as well, makes for easier scouting. And I'm more puzzled as to where the Dravidians fit into all this. Maybe I want to go for the Dravidians Elephant Archers flex here. Who knows? I don't really see Dravidians for Amazon Tunnel, but who am I to judge? Maybe they have something up the sleeve. Yeah, how will the bejesus did size plus pub win that? I think the army numbers were deceiving, as I noticed after a while that there was a lot of naval investment for Anvil, so they didn't have nearly as much of a military advantage as you think they had. But that was a great comeback for sure. Game 2, Maghreb. We do indeed have the Dravidians for Maghreb here. We have the Franks as well, which is maybe less of a surprise for a map like that. So Maghreb, golden stone on the edge here, wood and food in the middle, some puddles of box turtles, and water, deep fish and relics, and some small piles of resources on the top side. So you need to choose your starting point carefully. Looks like we're going to go for the African clearing approach here for size goes to the pub. 2 players placing their starting town centers on the box turtles, which is the second fastest food income in the game after the Mongols hunt collection. Same approach for Anvil over here, teasing the box turtles, whereas their third players are going for wood and berries. There's some gold here, of course, as well, but most of the stones and golds down to the far side over here. Not your typical nomad start, as you start with 6 villagers instead of 3, and also with a backtrain camel to help scout the map. So not a true nomad start in that sense, but still no tons at the start, which is the definition of nomad, I guess. Nomadic starts. So settling like this means that wood access is going to be a lot tougher for the players settling in this area. Some small woodlands to take. The acacia trees have 150 wood rather than 100, so they'll last you through the feudal age, but not much longer. So eventually you'll need to expand to the proper woodlands to the side. There are some juicy ones to this side, in fact. So yeah, it's good on both sides, wood and berries and whatnot. But yeah, you need to get there sooner rather than later to sustain your game long term. So have a look at the scouting situation that is early in the game. Will we see an early dock from the mole? We will indeed. Okay, so that's where the Dravidians come into play then. TC on the wood and naval control topside. That makes sense. Extra wood income for the Dravidians with their civilization bonus. And yeah, good options to get contest the naval situation overall. Scouting on point here for heuristic magic, actually with the Aztecs here. And here I was envisioning Aztecs monk shenanigans for Amazon Tunnel, but I guess not. First fission ship now in production for the Aztecs. Somewhat underrated for early naval play with the Aztecs as well, considering that the military production is 10% faster, so you'd have a portion of the, or you'd actually match the Persians in feudal age in terms of naval production because of that. However, Dravidians will easily afford a second or third dock or an instant blacksmith to get under a fletching for your galleys, so Dravidians by far better than the Aztecs on water. Hindustan is going to play the mobility role here for Mr. Beaver. Probably the best camels in the game with the Imperial camels. Also get good hussars, of course. Yeah, so Hindustanis, that's going to be the mobility card for Anvil. 18 pop up for the Huns here as well, for Favre Forever. Huns not the most frequently picked for actual nomad, but for a map like this, which is more land than water, it makes perfect sense. It's a real quick app here. Going to be some early scouts for Anvil here to claim the map nice and early with mobility, and maybe also deny both food and wood income from two of Size's players here. They're up later, which will give them an edge economically entering the next age, but will also delay their military production. So they're going to be facing two or three scouts from Anvil before they can be able to produce any of their own. Maybe the Franks, 20% instant extra hit points for cavalry units can offset that a bit. And stake with the Berbers as well. So stake gonna aim for the fast castler. Is some gold already. Only one Wilder on gold though. For the far away golds and stones there, but Teal actually has it scouted, so that's going to be something for the mobile military of Anvil to punish. It's indeed a 24 population up for stake here, which means if he's able to get away with a straight fast cast livered Berbers, that could be deadly against Anvil's presumed extended feudal age push here. Yeah, they've spotted it. A good spot by Mr. Beaver there, flaring the golds and stones being collected by. Actually, hasn't really scouted the mining camp here, but he did flare the area, so that's probably where he would suspect them to be collecting the resources here. Let's see once that village kicks in for stake if there's enough food and gold to go to the next age. Missing a little bit of gold, but not anything dramatic. And that's going to be popping in shortly. Blacksmith coming up. We have any naval military at all here. Fiery galleys for the mole. Also for heuristic magic, but that's only one dock producing them against two of the Dravidians. So I'm thinking that the naval control is going to slip quickly for heuristic magic over here. Beaver has spotted the shore fishers near the edge of the map here as well. Almost gets a villager pick off of Big Wolf there, but not quite. And now he's going to go straight for the fisherman up to the top side here. No spearmen even remotely close here, so Big Wolf will have to fight this off with villagers alone. And with proper scouts micro, you'd be looking at some villager pickoffs here for sure. Two more scouts joining in as well. Big Wolf with its own scouts, but he's only got 4 of them against Mr. Beaver's 8. That's one villager pickoff. Hindustani's civilization bonus is scouts and camels have bonus attack against buildings as well. So even creek walling is a bit harder against masses like this. Definitely some value from the scouts here for Mr. Beaver. At the same time, Favre is also denying creek walls on the stone here from Stake, who is all the way up, wants to get to those Berbers camel archers here, I bet. But gets heavily contested by the extended double scouts play of Anvil here, which seems to pay off quite a bit on a widespread map like Maghreb eco situation. Quite even here. Naval situation about to be won completely by the Dravidians here. Not much the Persians can, Aztecs, sorry, can do about that. Did hide away the fish, but that's gonna be lost. Much larger naval investment from the mole, which delays the Castle Age transition for the Dravidians as well. But their responsibility is to claim the topside now to get access to that deep fish and possibly the relics as well, to deny those relics of the Aztecs, which is probably why the Aztecs have settled topside and been picked for this map. Because of the abundance of relics on this map, it's things like 12 relics total, yeah, on this map. So that would be a gigantic bonus for the Aztecs if you're able to get to that castle age. It's in for the Aztecs, but still more fire galleys than fire ships for the Aztecs and no opportunity of redocking here. So those relics on the islands not really up for grabs for the Aztecs. Let's have a look at Stake's stone count. It's only got 100 something stone in the bank, but that's because it's already placed his first castle, claiming the wood in the middle here now. That's going to last him quite a bit into the castle age, I guess. Securing 2,000 or 3,000 wood around here, perhaps. And it's going to be the camel archers. Or some ranged raids across the map here. Managed to quick wall in the gold and stone miners over here, so Stake now with uninterrupted stone and gold income for the time being. Land army wise, size goes to the pub are a little bit behind though, I would say, because they have 9 of their military on the water, as Anvil has essentially everything on land. Athlete on the way for Fabre, not quite the case for Mr. Beaver yet, still committing to village armies, but they're also forming a team wall on land here. Can't wall completely to the edge of the map here, so that's going to be a weak spot for Anvil, but looks like they're solving the situation by walling between the woodlands instead. Hunt's now preparing to switch to the cavalry archers in the castle age here. Upgrades far from there yet though. Bloodlines coming in and possibly husbandry as well, since we have the stable anyway, but also going to need those ranged upgrades for maximum output here. Will the scouts get in? Oh, they're in. Forging is in. That Townsend gets delayed by Sticker. It's not reacting. It must be missing micro and Cavalry somewhere. I love just keep walling in the windows to temporarily save this one, I guess. If it deletes one tile wall here and places another palisade over here, it actually trap these scouts and complete Town Center with the stone miners. Ah, the trap! I guess it doesn't mind too much. Big Walt is going to help clean up those few scouts from Favre forever. Having Berbers available and Cavalry Archers should negate the Huns Cavalry Archer play quite a bit here, but it's only one castle for now, and Stake doesn't really have completely safe gold and stone income just yet. But once that Townsend completes, that's going to change things. Also, the wood situation also doesn't seem great for size goes to the pub here. 150 wood on these, yes, but still not going to sustain you for nearly as long as having a Townsend over at the more juicy wood, less wood. So size still somewhat behind in the economy, but more Townsenders popping up here means that eco advantage will be evened out by Anvil. We have the Aztecs Eagles now amassing for now only out of 2 barracks, but the numbers certainly going to increase quickly here. It's attack and defense upgrades coming in. No Eagle Warrior just yet. So revealing the Eagles over here, denying actually the third town center of the mole here. Dravidians. If they're able to get the castle up, they could go for Urumi Swordsman here, and that should deal very nicely with the Eagles. But for that to work, you need to get a castle up, and heuristic magic isn't going to make that easy for the mole over here. Sort of a 1 vs 1 situation between blue and purple now, having had the water won by the mole, but losing the land position arguably to the Blue Eagles now. Far away for the mole. Will that be spotted by Favre? He's got the cavalry archers dangerously close to the stone here. It's just 1 tile away from seeing that Town Center Foundation going up. Does he see it on the minimap? This is huge if you deny that one. It's only 3 villagers building that TC, and the cav archer spotted. Great spot by Favre there is going to make quick work of the mole's attempted expansion to the south, and that's 1,000 that will never complete, and some wood and stone going down the drain. That's a long walk for nothing for these 3 villagers. And there it is, the Eagle switch proving efficient for using magic cavalry. Archer numbers ever increasing for the Huns as well, with the numbers not able to keep up. I think it's a bit of a wood income issue as well. Not got any of the safe wood going on over here, and arguably some good fights in the middle as well. Expansion getting denied by the mobility play of the cavalry archers. Same here, economic expansion. Or maybe Size Coastal Hub just want to play their home map on that tunnel. And knowing that could take a while to complete, they just decide to tap out and call it here at the 26th minute, which gives us a game 3 for this set. 3710 KD from Mr. Beaver did get great value from the early scouts, and both the Hans and the Hindustanis really benefiting from that Hans 20% faster stables team bonus as well. More resources collected overall. Seemed like the same approach, now though Anvil didn't spend that much time fighting for water control. Maybe a bit of an over focus on water there for the Dravidians. Not getting great land options against these three civilizations. Which means we'll move on to Amazon Tunnel after crossing out the winning civilizations here. And the Dravidians, Berbers, and Franks for size goes to the pub. Amazon Tunnel. Will we see the Koreans? Korean siege runners? Probably. Bengal is a bit of a pick. They have fantastic monks, among other things. Elephants as well. So wouldn't rule them out for Amazon Tunnel, but it is the last pick, which would lead me to believe that it's going to be Bohemians, Teutons, and Koreans for Amazon Tunnel for Big Walt's team, whereas Anvil have Turks, Celts, and Gurjaris at their disposal. Saracens as last ones as well. Not unthinkable, but I think these are, since it's the last pick, it's less likely to be played. So let's have a look. Could be mind games as well. Let's see if either of them use it, their last picks for the. Doesn't look like it. In comes Amazon Tunnel. Played on Explored, as I've heard is the community standard for Amazon Tunnel, although it's not explored in the ranked queue. It's like a Lombardia-esque start for the players, so to speak, because they start relatively close together. Very limited area. This is like budget forest nothing, this kind of map, but there's a huge hill in the middle with some of those extra golds and stones to be contested, the relics as well. And you definitely want to try to wall off your opponents and move out to try to deny them access to the middle overall, but that's obviously quite some walking distance as well. I have no experience playing Amazon Tunnel. I passionately hate this map, so I'm not going to be able to speculate how this game is going to progress based on the civilization, but let's have a look at the civilizations regardless. Teutons for Big Bolt, cheaper farms, fantastic boom, obviously, great siege options, great cavalry melee options on a map where mobility plays less of a role. Riley's here, hello! Thanks for stopping by. Odds on stake thrashing, how would I know? I don't play Amazon Tunnel, but I guess Drush would be a way to keep the opposing team from walling as well. Bohemians for stake, another civilization with ridiculously strong siege options, the Hufnitze, an extra upgrade to the Mobbard Cannon, unique to the Bohemians, usually with halberdiers to accompany them as a meat shield, and to keep opponents' cavalry from sniping them at a distance. The mole with the Koreans, unique technology for the siege onagers with reduced minimum range. That's huge. You also get the towers upgrades instantly, so guard towers and keeps instantly an option for Koreans in the Castle and Imperial Age, respectively. Way to creep up slowly across the map to make it harder for the opponents to push into your base. I mean, imagine some keeps and guard towers here, in addition to some castles that completely fortify the choke point and force the opposing team to make other ways to get through. For example, Onger cut through the long forest woodlands over here. We're going to see the players on your cut to the edges of the map for trade as well. Sooner rather than later, so that's going to happen really in the Imperial Age most likely, because the gold is still somewhat limited on this map. It's pretty standard. 3v3 resources at work here. Celts here for Fabrahur, great siege as well. Celts siege weapons fire faster, and their team bonus is that siege workshops work faster. So that's the advantage of having the Celts on the team here. Good Yaras, I suppose. Great economy, great boom. Should we have Amsha Riders to dodge range projectiles and dive into snipe enemy siege, perhaps? Of course, armored elephants, siege elephants to take out buildings quickly and efficiently. And tracker throwers going to be huge in low pointy maps like this as well. They're disc throwing through enemy units. And finally, Haru with the Turks. Instant chemistry upgrade for Turks entering the Imperial Age, so instant hand cannoneer bombard cannons potential, not to mention bombard towers. I believe you still have to research bombard towers, but Turks still have a shortcut to that. Here we go with Stake, with militia out and about here, so providing some extra military in addition to the starting scouts of team size goes to the pub, going offensively forward here. We're going to see some villagers moving forward here as well, probably to wall as far forward as they can. Maybe they'll even be able to wall out this 3-tile gold over here with this approach. And if you deny off the middle early on like that, makes it a whole lot easier to defend this strong point and slowly push into your opponent's bases. It is an investment for sure, but having 3 militia here added by the Bohemians just completely stops Anvil from comfortably engaging. Stakes single-handedly ruin Tunnel by turning it into a Drush map. Drush is nothing new on the Amazon Tunnel. I know that much. Seen very few games on this map, but Drush I've seen. But imagine if Sides are able to get walls up here. That's going to be huge. They're going to have all 5 relics within their control then. Scouts from Haru though with the Turks here, so he's actually committing to feudal age here. Maybe expected rush play. Maybe he's done his homework here. Knows a little bit of how some players prefer to play Amazon Tunnel. And here I thought they were going to wall far out, but they're actually not. They're playing it more open style with military production buildings forming a wall at home base here. Still all 3 militia alive here. That rush could be properly annoying as support units are some far travel for the scouts larger though. But playing on explored like this means that the archers and scouts will have a much easier time denying the core resources as well, because you know where everything is. Some back golds for everyone over here though, so it should be relatively easy to keep the core economy safe here for Anvil. Builders now moving out to hopefully try to get some walls up over here as well. And a 21 podcast late here for General Zuma, which I didn't spot at all, which is frankly quite ridiculous. Maybe they sacrificed one of their boars for General Zuma to benefit from the extra food to be able to do that. I don't know. Cast stage in for the Gurjaras. That could be huge here. It's a pity Gurjaras don't have access to knights here, because that would completely demolish here. But Anvil certainly seem to have the edge offensively here now. Siege Workshop in the middle. Gurjaras, what are they going to provide here? Are they going to provide any military at all? Or is it just going to be a boom here, having the two other players push with their village armies? Armored elephants to punch through what they probably presume are walls at this point for size goes to the pub. Will they complete though? More archers trickling in. It's archer count is higher for the wall with the greens. The armor upgrade is in as well as is instant for the greens, but there are quite a few scouts here for Haru to go in front of these archers. So Haru has more scouts than Big Bolt with the Teutons here. No upgrades for the scouts thus far. Armored elephants should make it easy to break through the walls if they complete as well. Completing a piece of wall there, creating kind of a choke point. Scouts making sure that the opposing units can't easily enter here, and archer numbers not quite there for Favre with the Celts just yet, and they won't scale nearly as well as the Koreans either. I mean, the Koreans could upgrade into crossbow and arbalest, whereas the Celts will have to switch into something else, moving into the Imperial Age. Nice addition to the Scorpion there. That's going to help take out some of the Feudal Age armies here. Castle Age now for Stake, Drush FC effectively for the Bohemians here, but now Anvil through the layer of Stonewall. They could take out some of the production capabilities here as well, unless Stake is able to get some mangonels out to have to obstruct that from happening. Still only want easy for the good drawers. So Anvil committing heavily to military here, whereas Size goes for slightly more of an economic approach. Mangonel in the making. I don't think the elephants will push through in time. Scorpions, one Mangonel shot, and these scorpions are gone as well. Do take out the archer range quickly here. I think that's one range going down. Okay. So maybe add one monk here for Anvil, and you can heal up the armored elephants at distance as well. Finding the weak spot here, but the Mangonel able to defend here. We're going to need Mangonels from Anvil as well to stop Stake from stopping the push single-handedly with just a couple of mangonels here. Two mangonels defensively now going to defend into their base while size are increasing their economic advantage as well. After all, two of Anvil's players still in the feudal age here, and if they don't punch through this opening here, they won't be able to do nearly enough damage to justify the feudal age investment here. Anvil's definitely with the map control for now. Also able to claw their way towards the castle age here. They are going to fall behind in economy while getting there because of the addition of town centers by Stake and the option of creating more villagers now. 3 mangonels to 1. If General Zuma gets a properly lucky shot in here, that that could be a turning point for Anvil. Scorpions also taking out stable at the distance there. Great mangonel micro from both. With 3 armored elephants moving in to try and make an opening in the weak spot here. Mangonel can't fire at both the elephants and the mangonels at the same time. It's Getting close. This is going to be hard to re-wall behind. We have an opening, the scouts are in, but the crossbow is in for the mold as well. Clutch timing there for the Koreans crossbows. They should be able to deal with the scouts here, no problem. But Anvil are through. Crossbow Vodkin coming in for the Celts as well. Mangonel's going down. Mangonel's going down for the mole. Will they be able to hold off this pressure? Anvil dead even in military compared to their opponents here now, but I think the crossbow mass is higher, and not to mention with better upgrades for for the mole over here. Preparing for the rewalling here, crossbows going to try to commit to even out the economy situation here, perhaps. Dangerous to be so close to two Magalots here mistaken now. The Knights addition from Big Wolf to the Tutors as well. Wolf mainly going to focus on the boom, I think, but two Knights to clean it up. Great cleanup here for Size goes to the pub, taking out all of these Celts crossbows for basically nothing, and General Zuma trying to sneak up a town center in the front here, making useful for villagers, not really going to get very far with that. Need to withdraw, allowing Size goes to the pub to counter push here now. Anvil trying to go for the quick and early kill here. They're not going to complete their walls in time over here. These wall foundation, great Magnet shot. But they still have the middle. They could still claim the middle position here with some castles. And they are going to be able to get the stone walls up on this side to set up for a safe boom on either side. Size definitely with the boom lid though. Look at the economic progression here. Obviously not quite ready to go to the Imperial Age just yet, but they're getting the economic upgrades and setting up for a stronger economy and an earlier Imperial Age most likely. And playing it for the late game, of course, and having Teutons, Koreans, and Bohemians in the late game Imperial Age here, I think that's still going to benefit Size Coast more than Anvil's civilizations here. Just full on boom load for the Teutons and Bohemians. Are basically everyone here. More town centers popping up for Anvil, Celts, 5 theses, also another great boom civilization with their faster wood income. Now it's Size's turn to try and make some counter damage here. Monsters are up, so at least some of the relics will be claimed for Anvil on their side, but they're about to lose the middle position that they claimed early on. Defensive castle near the choke point here now. Again, setting up for a long game and a late Imperial game here, where the broker unit composition will eventually be able to punch through for the latest game. He is now entering the Imperial Age well ahead of any of the Anvil players here, which allows for chemistry to be researched on the way up to the Imperial Age, and you'll immediately be able to make your strong late game gunpowder units. Again, cleaning up some of Anvil's armies here. The KD situation is on the negative side for Anvil. They are adding even more town centers, maybe to try to catch up with the boom of Size, but not Due to the longer feudal age investment of two of the players here, they're going to struggle to keep up with the Imperial Age timing of especially Stake over here, with the Thrush Fast Castle and semi-fast Imperial Age approach here. Siege Workshops going up in the middle. Bomber Clans and eventually Hoofnitz are going to make a strong option against the defensive fortifications here. And will it be enough time for Anvil to get the boom going at all here, entering into the next age? Is convincing military lead for size at this point. We also have the mold getting closer to the Imperialist tick here, just lacking a little bit of food now to get up and to... I don't know if he's going to keep investing into Arbalest or if it's actually going to be straight for war wagons and onagers and that kind of thing here. Just gonna have a quick look to see if Stake has chemistry, and indeed it does. So that's gonna be Bombard Cannons in the queue immediately here. Now, Haru is also on the way to the Imperial Age, but has 2.5 minutes and more to get there. So even with the Turks getting instant chemistry here entering the Imperial Age, Haru is on the back foot here against the Bohemians Bombard Cannons. Hufnitsa coming in immediately as well. That's such an early Hufnitsa upgrade here. It's going to be deadly. And Siege Engineers. Stake just kind of for everything here. Still had a great economy behind this. The mole entering the economy, Imperial Age at a healthy economy as well. Markets going up in the corners now. Something that Anvil haven't quite started. Maybe could be able to get a short trade route running here. But first bomber cannons are out now. Imperial Age all the way from Big Vault as well. Going to get to the Teutons Cavaliers. Once size break through here, they are going to almost immediately be able to raid with Imperial Age units here. Seems like a strong Amazon tunnel combo. It is their home map after all. And even the fortified walls of Anvil, that's not going to buy them nearly enough time here to withstand the power of the units at work here. Teutons going for immediate on-your upgrade as well. Let's have a look at the resources again. Everyone with lots of resources in the bank, but Anvil being pushed uncomfortably close to home base here. Going to lose the Monastery as well, which means that Size could grab the relics as well. The armies are in. Only 12 crossbows here. It's going to be the onagers and siege onagers for the Koreans here, with probably halberdiers to defend them. Yeah, Bohemians halberdiers coming in here actually. See the Shiribamshas for General Zuma here, coming in at clutch timing here. So they are so still so tanky. That's an annoying unit for sure, but with the halberdiers entering, the Shiribamshas are much less of a concern. So panic repairs here, but great pickoffs there from General Zuma. Definitely buying some time now for Anvil to recover and get their own bomber cannons out to contest the Hufnitze. If Turks get artillery as well, they will have longer range than the Hufnitze, even if they don't quite match the damage and area damage. Onager right around the corner now for Koreans. I think I saw the unique technology coming in there as well to diminish the... No, maybe it's not in yet, but unique technology for the Koreans will also give the Koreans Onager line less minimal range issues. Focusing on the production buildings here, forcing the Turks to rebuild the siege workshop further behind. Unique technology is in, so as you can see, it's 12+2 range for the Turks bomber cannons and 12 plus 1 for the Hufnitze, but compensating with higher attack for the Hufnitze and also a should be a larger area effect, yeah, slightly larger area effect range. Huge mass of Teuton's cavalry here now. Big Wolf mainly going to be providing the cavalry here. Probably will be able to afford Paladin soon enough as well. So those raids are going to be a nightmare for Anvil to deal with. Only Shirivamshas from General Zuma here. Still in the Castle Age, so won't have heavy camels to deal with the Teuton's cavalry either. So that's bad news for Anvil. They do have the Celts halberdiers in, so Celts infantry moves faster. Helps to catch up with units. While the choke point has been widened to the side here. I'm not sure which side did that, but probably from size to facilitate the raids at this side. They're also opening the left-hand side for a full trade route from one side to the other here to extend that gold income to last them longer in the throughout the Imperial Age. Strong push here, and now comes the keeps of the Koreans as well to fortify the position forward here to provide another point to fall back defensively here. Don't really seeing nearly enough support units here for size here, but does it matter if they have enough siege onagers and Hufnitze around? Maybe it doesn't. I'm really struggling to keep up with the military and the strength of military here. General Zuma has to field military here with Castle Age units, also trying to invest into trade, but really needs to get to the Imperial Age here. Size goes to the pub, full Imperial. Oh, great pick off there with the Turks bomber cannons. There's a lot of siege onagers going down there, but they keep coming, and as the trade upgrades kicking in as well. Size goes to the pub will have unlimited gold access, and that's going to be so hard to stop unless you push through with onagers from either side here or Anvil, and that's still going to take a lot of time. Bomber tower defense from Haru here now still got those Turks longer range bomber cannons. Shriramsha riders in front, hoping to snipe some of these siege onagers yet again. So great bomber cannon micro from Haru over here, but also has also lost quite a few villagers to the Teuton's cavalry raids. Teuton's paladins extremely slow compared to the Shirivamsha riders, as you can see, but obviously much stronger, and even Celts halberdiers with their... Oh, they don't even have full upgrades. They don't even have full upgrades, but even if they did, they would be fighting against Teuton's paladins with 2 extra melee armor compared to generic paladins. It's a slow and snowbally map. This Amazon Tunnel. General Zuma can't really go full trade and sling either, because as the rule for slinging says that you have to be 1 age up to sling your teammates. Otherwise, it would be an option here for General Zuma to not commit to military at all, just try to punch out the trade units and sling gold to his 2 teammates instead, to stall it out and allow himself to get to the Imperial Age. It's finally on the way. 165 villagers or eco units for the Guriaras here. Bohemians, halberdiers making quick work of the Shirivamsha riders, so they need to be in front to stop any opposing cavalry from sniping their siege units. Still trying to get those defensive bomber towers up, but the siege onager micro is on point for the mold here, denying another bomber tower there, which means that Haru is rapidly losing gold and stone as well. It's still got no stone miners left, no opportunity to mine stone. Gold situation is It's really, really high for General Zuma, but that doesn't help Anvil because Zuma needs to get to the Imperial Age to sling. So once he reaches the Imperial Age, he can, of course, freely sling his teammates. But the clock is ticking. It's 50 seconds to go, and Size goes to the pub are pushing closer and closer. Let's now go to the trade stats and see much larger, healthier trade numbers for Size goes to the pub at work here. Nietzsche now dangerously close to the Chili Vamsha Raiders over here, but also more expendable now that the trade has started kicking in for real for Size goes to the pub over here. So Zumba in the Imperial Age, is he going to sling some of his gold to his teammates? Maybe he needs banking before doing so as well. Masonry coming in to strengthen the build's murder holds even to stop the castles from having any minimal range. Um, I want to see the resources. Yeah, Zuma really needs to think about slinging some gold now, being in the Imperial Age. It's getting the appropriate Imperial Age upgrades for his units, but it's far from filling enough units to keep Size from pushing forward in. You really need to communicate with your team here at this point, and Favres and go to Haru. Zuma could do the same thing as floating lots of gold here, but hasn't really done so yet. Lots of keeps in the middle now to fortify the position forward for Size goes to the pub, and a castle from Teutons in front as well, which means that Teutonic Knights could enter the field as well against the Celts Halberdier. Of course, they're extremely slow, but would effectively stop the Celts Halberdiers from being an alternative here. Had the occasional raids in the trade line of Anvil. Heavy Camel now in for General Zuma. Let's have a look at the gold count again. So realistically, only one player has gold in the bank here now. While it's mainly trash investments and a few siege onagers from Favre and Haru. Still doing good work at keeping the precious bomber cannons alive, but there's a good Hoofnitzer shot from Stake. Great bomber cannons micro there, and leaving Haru with only 3 bomber cannons here. Look at the eco losses from especially Haru as well. Size has got done a great job at keeping the Anvil economy from running smoothly here. You need technology in for the Koreans as well, for the towers to have increased range, 8 plus 5 range for the towers. Teutons could get crenellations as well, and also get 8 plus 5 range for the castles. In fact, crenellations is in, but fletching and Bodkin isn't in, so the castle still needs Bodkin Arrow to have full range potential for the Teutons. Massively defending and keeping the forward choke point now for Size goes to the pub, and just slowly pushing forward with what they got. They have a massive military lead. Oh, but the eco situation is still comparable for the two teams. The problem is that 80% of the map is in the control of Size goes to the pub now, and Anvil's best bet is to make a surprise attack to the side, but I think they're realistically just now trying to free up a trade line as well. You also finished to a wheel of time, Shaguni. Yeah, I'm not hating it. It's a good TV. Oh, Paladin raids in the trade line now. Haru with some defensive combat towers and keeps over here, but that's not going to keep the Paladins from raiding the economy here. Look at the economy of the Turks. It's only 50 villagers, and the trade situation also suffering. Only 5 trade units for Haru means no gold units for Haru. And the fact that Saiskos have broken the trade like this and now breaking the castles as well, that is the GG. Size goes to the pub with the third game win and a 2-1 victory against Anvil. GG well played. Great set. Massive KD for the mold here, maybe thanks to the towers as well. 69 kills total for these keeps. Castle doing some work as well, but yeah, Siege on here is probably getting some juicy shots indeed. Good towers apply early pressure. Yeah, a little bit. 21 pop fast castle, accompanied by scouts and archers by Celts and Turks. So it almost worked. They almost got through to side, but they didn't get through in time to do enough damage. You can see from the uptimes here that was extended fuel age pressure from Anvil here. Jars fell 38 castle age, which is frankly quite ridiculous. Also interesting to see the Celts with a larger resource income here overall, given the free boom of size and the free trade as well, the trade profit even. But in the end, the stronger civilization, stronger push, winning them the set. There's 1 point per game though, so it's 2 points for size and 1 for Anvil. If you win 2-0, you're awarded an extra points for 3 points. So 2-1 means decent profit for both teams moving further into the stage. Look at Taru's village situation. They 232 villagers and was left with only 26 in the end. Took some serious beating to the raids in the trade line there. Let's throw the draft the final time as well. Celts, Turks, and Gurgars losing that one to Bohemians, students, and Koreans. GG well played to both teams, and congratulations to Sites goes to the pub with the win.